Hello viewers, I welcome you all to my channel Brainiacs World. In the last video, I discussed on share market trading along with examples with the help of three indicators. I also told you that this would serve as a tutorial for all the beginners. So we discussed about the basic definitions and basic concepts of trading, followed by indicators. The concepts of indicators. So we had covered the indicators VWAP, volume weighted average price, 20 EMA, 20 exponential moving average, MACD. MACD stands for moving average convergence divergence. So in this video, we'll try to cover as many indicators as possible. Okay, so let's move back to the Zerodha Kite platform. See, the basic thing what you need to remember before taking up a trade is try to identify whether the trend is bullish or bearish. The bullish trend means it will go exponentially higher in a higher direction, just like this one over here. A bearish trend is when the trend continuously makes a negative exponential trend, something like this. If the trend comes down exponentially, it is to be called as bearish trend. If the trend goes above, something like this, then it is to be called as bullish trend. And also try to remember about the indicators what I told you in the previous video. I told you when this VWAP curve crosses at least the half of the candle, then it's a bullish trend, and also the market would go up higher. It would go up basically. Now what about the same indicators if it is coming down, if the trend is coming down, it is actually the reverse of it. It is the reverse of it means what now? This VWAP curve after crossing a candle would straight away come down. Okay, and in such an instant, such a time, what happens is this moving average line always tries to stay above the VWAP line. Okay, now moving on to Ichimoku clouds, which is our recent indicator over here, Ichimoku clouds. Now we'll see about Ichimoku clouds. For this, first I'll close all the indicators that we used in the previous session. Now we will use only Ichimoku clouds. Let's come over here. Okay, great. Now in Ichimoku clouds, what we need to remember is that there are three most important curves. There are three most important curves in this. One is this blue line, one is this red line, and these clouds, green and red. If clouds are formed in a trend, let's say, with the example of this, so we can observe this cloud over here. This is a green cloud and this is a red cloud. And in this, as I told you, we need to remember what are these curves over here. See, basically, this blue curve refers to fast line, F-A-S-T, fast line. This is a fast line. The red line refers to slow line. Okay, and this green curve, everywhere, this actually represents lagging span. Usually, wherever this lagging span is there, it means that the progress of the lagging span is such that it is always 26 candles behind of the current progress of the candle. So let's say at this instant, if the position of this lagging span curve is over here, that means what now? Currently, some 26 candles ahead. Let's say somewhere here, if there is progress, if progress can be observed over here somewhere after 26 candles, then this lagging span would be 26 candles behind the progressive candle. So this is the meaning of lagging span. Now, don't go into the depth of the technicalities, so no use, but try to remember only the logic, when to enter and when to exit a trade. So for this, what I would suggest is that whenever whenever this blue curve crosses this red curve, when this intersects and when this blue curve goes above the red curve, then it's a clear sign to enter the trade. It is a clear sign to buy the stock. If it reverses, such as over here, now this is a clear sign to exit the trade. As simple as that. If blue curve goes above red curve, we need to buy the stock. If blue curve comes below the red curve, then we have to exit the trade. We need to sell the stock immediately. And also we have to make sure while buying there has to be a green cloud below. This intersection is already happening, but double confirmation is that there has to be a green cloud below. Now similarly, while selling also, if you can observe over here, if we try to go ahead, so these are some sideways that there is no confirmation will go up or down. So in such a situation, what we have to do, even though if blue curve is going up and red is below, we are seeing a red cloud below. So this is a clear indication that there is no clarity with, with respect to the traders. They don't have clarity whether to buy or not. So that is why the trend is currently sideways. It is simply moving sideways. It is neither going up nor going down. So just understand the simple concept of this Ichimoku clouds is that whenever this blue curve goes up and if the red curve is down, along with it there is a green cloud below, we have to enter the market, we have to buy the stock. If the situation is reversed, such that if blue curve is coming down and if the red curve is going above, so this is a clear indication then we need to exit the stock. Okay, so this was about the Ichimoku clouds. And also remember that whenever you have two confirmations, one from going above and as well as this cloud with respect to blue curve, if the blue curve is moving above, if the blue curve is moving above, if red is coming down, if there is a green cloud below, along with check whether this lagging span curve is above this level, above this candle or not. The height of this candle, the height of or the position of this candle should be at least at the same location where the blue is taking a hike. If this lagging span curve, if you see, lagging span curve is basically this green curve as I told you, isn't it? So moving ahead from here, let's say the lagging span is somewhere here. So we need to observe whether this lagging span curve is above this level or not. Now let's say there is an imaginary line here, and let's say the lagging span is here. Now with respect to this position, the lagging span is above. So that means what now? We can enter the trade. Now similarly, moving ahead, let's see over here what is happening in order to illustrate about the lagging span. So as you can see here, once the maximum is hit here, okay, the market has started to fall, isn't it? Now with respect to this position and this position, if we try to mark a horizontal line and try to compare, it is observed that the lagging span is also going down. isn't it? So that means this is the 26th position of candle with respect to the progressive candle, isn't it? So this is about Ichimoku clouds, as simple as that. So after this, let's see about Heikin-Ashi indicator. So for that, what will I do is I'll close this. I'll go to display and I'll click on Heikin-Ashi. There is this Heikin-Ashi. So basically, Heikin-Ashi only identifies the series of candles. It only identifies the series of candles. Basically, it identifies the trend. It is used for only trend identifications, whether there are long bodies or small shadows. As you can see, these are all long bodies, isn't it? Now, afterwards, what happens is when it reaches its maximum, so there is this candle, a red candle, it is called as doji, dragonfly doji, or simply a doji candle it is. When doji appears, it is a clear indication that the market is going to go sideways for some finite time, and afterwards the trend will reverse. It has to reverse. Wherever doji comes, it is a clear indication that the trend will reverse now. Now similarly, the same is happening over here. So as you can see, there is a doji here. The only difference is here there was a red doji after green. Now here there is a green doji after red. So whenever a doji appears with changed color, it is obvious that the trend will change now. Now again, there is a green doji. So afterwards there is a red color doji. So it is a clear indication that the market will go down now. Similarly, it also goes up and down successively with the occurrence of doji candles. Doji candle is simply a small, a thin candle with two long wicks on either side. This is called as, a doji candle. Basically, it is used to identify the trend. It is only used for trend identification. So moving on, now we will see about the next indicator called as RSI. But before that, we will delete this and we'll move on to simple candle chart style. This is a candle chart style which we are following. So we'll come back to studies and we can type RSI. It is the RSI indicator. Basically, RSI indicator says that it stands for Relative Strength Index. Now, this index or this curve usually tells us whether the stock has been overbought or oversold. If it is overbought, then we have to sell it. If it is oversold, then we have to buy it. Now, how to identify the levels of overbuy and oversell is that when the curve is greater than or equal to 70, as you can see, two scales over here, okay, two indicators over here, 20 and 80, two markings. There are two markings, 20 and 80. Now, if this curve is greater than or equal to 70, that means this stock has been overbought, and at a certain time, people will start selling at the same time. So at that instant, what happens is that the price of the stock will come down immediately. So we have to be careful in those moments. So for that, we need to observe this curve, RSI, Relative Strength Index. If this curve is near to 80, then it is obvious that in a finite time, in a coming time, the market will come down. As you can see, it sustained in this region 80 for a certain amount of time, and suddenly it came down because this is the region of what now? Overbuy. This is overbuy. The stock has been overbought. Now people are selling. All those who have bought in the previous days are now selling here. So this is the indication of overbuy and oversell. Now similarly, if this curve is somewhere near this value of 20. If it is near this value of 20, it means it has been oversold. That means all the sellers are, it's they have left. They have left the market. All the sellers have left the market. So now it is time for buyers to, or fresh buyers to buy the stock. So that again this curve traces slightly upwards such that it reaches 80 gradually. So once again it reaches 80, people will start selling. Okay, so this is about RSI, or relative strength index. So after this, we will see about, you know, Bollinger Band. There is something called as Bollinger Bands. For this, I'll type Bollinger Bands under studies. Here we go, Bollinger Bands. So before that, okay, yeah, that indicator has been taken off. Okay, so in this, what will I do is I'll try to identify the levels over here. In mathematics, in our school days as well as college days, we have studied standard deviation. So this indicator is exactly based on that. It is based on standard deviation. Okay, where this middle curve actually traces the median. This is the standard deviation. This is based on standard deviation, and this middle curve is the median. Now, this lower curve, if you can observe, this is the lower curve. If if this if these candles if these candles touches this bottom curve, that means these are support lines. That means it has been oversold. That means they are selling the stock in large numbers, in large volumes, such that if it crosses, then it has been oversold. After this, when the market goes up again, or it goes sideways, such that it comes off this curve and again comes inside this band, something like this. Okay, then it traces upwards, and let's say if it crosses the above curve, if it crosses the upper curve, then that means this is the resistance for the market. This is the resistance, this is the support. That means what now? If this crosses this, then there is a good chance that it will go even further, even higher than that in the coming days. If it crosses the bottom curve, then there is a good chance that it will go below. The market will come down. So these are the clear indicator for swing trading, especially the Bollinger Bands. Okay, so this is about that, about oversold and overbought. The lower is for oversold and the upper line is for overbought. If it is in between, whenever it comes near the median line, then immediately we are in the, the safe stage, so that we can enter the market. So this is about, the Bollinger Bands, as simple as that, very easy. But we cannot rely on this alone. So it is better to combine 2 to 3 indicators along with this. I usually refer to MACD and RSI along with Bollinger Bands if I use. Okay, so moving on further, let us see about uh, which is the next indicator. After Bollinger Bands, it is super trend. Okay, now we'll see about super trend. So in order to see super trend, we'll take this off from the chart. Super trend is one of the finest indicators that I rely upon, but the the time of entry and exit is limited. I only trust this for 1 or 2 candles, not beyond that, because it cannot be trusted afterwards. For that, we need to combine with other indicators such as MACD, VWAP, Bollinger Band, and so on. So, whenever we use super trend, it actually changes its color from green to red and red to green if there is bullish condition. Bullish means, as I told you, the market will immediately go up gradually, immediately. Okay, so in that case, what happens is that it shows arrows like this at a certain time. So this means that the volume or the number of people who were there earlier has now been increased and they are all increased in buying the stock. This is the meaning of this. So this is super trend. When the buyers are more, it will create a green arrow and this can be trusted only for one or two candles. And within this time frame itself, we can enter and we can stay for a while and book our profit somewhere here if we are confident. So this is about super trend. Now similarly, if the trend changes somewhere here, let's say the trend has changed over here and the people have started selling their stocks after buying them for a long time from here to here, and here they've started selling their stocks, and here super trend gives us an indication to sell the stocks or to sell and buy. Okay, so this is where it gives us the signal along with a red arrow. It has changed its color, as you can see. Until here it was green, but since sellers have taken over the buyers, it has changed its color, and now the market will come down further. But we can trust this only for one or two candles. So this is about super trend, followed by the next indicator is MFI. See, basically MFI refers to money flow index. MFI MFI expansion is money flow index. You need to type it. Okay, money flow index. So coming to money flow index, again this also says about the oversold and overbought condition only. But this actually combines RSI. This actually combines RSI and the volume itself. Basically, money flow index combines RSI, relative strength index, and the total volume, total people present, whether they are buying or selling with respect to that. And again, here we have you know two markings, 20 and 80. If the curve over here in money flow index, if it is greater than or equal to 80, that means the stock has been overbought. Anytime they can start selling. This is the meaning of that. So once the people have started selling, the market will come down. So it can clearly be seen over here, from here to here. And again, since it has reached almost the value of 20, there is a bumpy ride for a while, and later slowly it has taken off. Slowly it has taken off. So we don't know how far this is going to take to rise again, but from time to time we can see the volume. The volume has been combined with relative strength index. So we can see that again it has reached the value of 80. That means buyers have overcome the number of sellers. So this is the meaning of it. It combines both a relative strength index as well as you know the volume. So this is about MFI. MFI stands for money flow index. So we'll move on to the last indicator of this session called as Fibonacci retracement. See, this is the best of all. With respect to the trend what we had in the previous days, with respect to that we can actually predict what is going to happen the next day. So that's the beauty of it. So this is not available in all of the softwares that I've traded, like Trade Genie or ShareKhan or some other platform. Zerodha gives this Fibonacci retracement. So for this, what will I do is I'll take out everything and I'll click on this draw over here. I'll click on this draw and I'll take this arrow, and there is this Fibonacci retracement, the best of all. So first we'll bring this to its last day so that it can be, that it can be traced. So this is from today's 14th 9. This is from today's trading. This chart is from today's trading. You can see 14th 9. This is from Friday's 11th 9. Now in the chart of every day, we need to observe whether the market is going from bottom to up, or if it is coming from up to down, from top to bottom or bottom to top. This we need to observe. Okay, based on this, if I click on Fibonacci retracement, then we need to identify the bottom of this. I'm going to put a click and I'll try to identify what is the maximum level of this. Most of the work in the universe actually follows Fibonacci retracement. So it is obvious that share market also follows the same, irrespective of others entry or exit. It follows this Fibonacci retracement universally without the intervention of external sources or forces. So let's see how this works. Fibonacci retracement is the best of all, trust me. Now in Fibonacci retracement, we need to observe. Now I'm telling you this because this was the the behavior of today's people or today's emotions of people. Now we'll also come to this. But before, let's see what is happening here. Previous day. Okay, previous day was Friday. Now it has started from here and it reached its topmost over here. Now the meaning of this Fibonacci retracement is that it is going from bottom to top. So for that sake only, initially I actually put a point over here and straight away stretched it to its topmost. So this is where its 100% lies. As you can see, these are the Fibonacci ratios. This is 100%, 61.8 is the golden ratio, which is 50%, 38.2%, and 0%. Now Fibonacci retracement is done like this. As you can see, the candle has now started from its bottom and it has just crossed 61.8. So whenever the previous candle or whenever the progressive candle has just crossed its first level 61.8, then it is obvious that the market has to go upwards at least until 50%. This is the beauty of it. Now if the progressive candle crosses this 50%, then again it is said to be that it is going to cross this 50% and move at least until 38.2. Now if this crosses 38.2, then straight away it will hit 0%. This is the meaning of it. This is the beauty of Fibonacci retracement. I'll explain again. Now as you can see, in the beginning on Friday, there was this green candle. Okay, and in the first 15 minutes itself, it crossed 61.8. The next 15 minutes, the people started to selling it, and again afterwards, after 30 minutes, people again entered and started to buy the stock, and again it retraced till 61.8. Now as you can see, the next candle has started at the topmost position of the previous candle here. So that means while it crossed this line 61.8, there was no stopping for it until 50%. So once it crossed 50% within the same time frame, 15 minutes, there was no stopping of it until it reached 38.2. Now once it reached 38.2, again people were still buying it. The volume of buyers was still large. It was still large. So therefore, once it crossed 38.2%, it went beyond. It even crossed further. It even went further higher. So that is why the next candle of the progressive candle has gone much higher. It actually went up till here. It actually tested this line, 0% line, and came down for a while because the people who have bought here have to, sell somewhere. Okay, sell somewhere. So for that sake, it came down for a while, but again it tested this line, 38.2. But if this red line, if this red candle, if it would have crossed this line, then the market would come down further. If it would have crossed this line, then it would have come down further. Following, if it would have been crossed this one, there was no stopping for it until it reached 100%. So this is how Fibonacci works. Now the same thing happened to the next candle also. The next candle started from here, but again it went and tested this 0% line. Okay, if it would have crossed this, there was no stopping for it until it reached 38.2, minus 38.2. Now the same thing happened over here. Now the whole day on Friday actually was a range bound. That means it kept on fluctuating between these two levels, 0% and 38.2%. Now we'll see what happened in today's chart. Okay, this is the today's chart of TCS. As you can see, this is 14th night. This is 14th night. There was a gap up opening. Okay, and people immediately started buying for first 15 minutes. Now, since it is a gap up opening, Fibonacci do not work over here. We need to put up another one. We need to put up another chart. So for this prediction, the prediction of this chart is not happening with respect to Fibonacci. We can close this. It will not happen with respect to Fibonacci. So for that purpose, we will close this. But again, I will show you. How to predict today's drawing or today's chart and tomorrow's chart. Again, with Fibonacci ratio, I am going to take this and I'm going to observe whether the market has went up or whether it has come down. So it is a clear indication that it started from here and reached this topmost point. So again, the market has went up. So I'm going to put a point over here and I'm going to trace it up to its maximum level. So as you can see, this is its maximum level. So again, I'm going to take an arrow. Okay. So as you can see, okay, in the morning, this is the today's chart of TCS. In the morning, what happened was there was more volume for buyers. Okay, such that for first 20 minutes, okay, for first 60 minutes, there was no stopping of buyers. Later, once it crossed this 61.8 level, immediately the next candle went up. There was no stopping for it. The next candle afterwards went nearer to 50%, and afterwards it tested this line and people started selling it. It came till here, and then the candle started from here, and again it went up. But as soon as it crossed this 50% line, it went further. It is a clear indication that for some time ahead it is going to go further up, further higher. So it tested this level nearer to 38.2. I won't say exactly 38.2, but it went nearer to 38.2. So this will act as resistances. Every line over here acts as resistances, while coming down, every line acts as support. So this is the beauty of Fibonacci. So again, when it came down, as you can see, it tested this line several times over here. Okay, and in the next progressive candle, as you can see, once it came down and when it crossed this 50% line, suddenly it went down till here. There was no stopping for it. And afterwards, another candle opened up here. So it maintained this pattern. And again, it tested this line, 61.8. Remember, there was no crossing of it, but it tested it. And afterwards, straight away, buyers came. Buyers came over here and they started buying the stock. So once it crossed 50%, it was obvious that more people would enter. So the stock went up higher and higher and higher. And later it also tested 38.2. And once it crossed 38.2, people confirmed. There was this confirmation with people that the stock would go further higher, will go further up. So therefore, they kept on buying until it reached 0%. Until it reached 0%. As you can see, this one big candle has come. It has occurred in a 15-minute time frame. So this is the beauty of Fibonacci. Now the same thing can also be traced when the market is, bearish. When the market is bearish also, Fibonacci holds good. So this is the one of the best indicators that I would recommend once you are, expert in all of these basic indicators. Whichever indicator, if you are comfortable with, go with those only. Once you master them, then only move on to the other indicators. I would like you to, play with all these indicators for at least 2 months before you start putting your money and do paper trading. Paper trading is something like you keep a book and pen for this purpose alone, and at right times in your minds, sincerely, you make up your mind that you are buying the stock and write it on a paper. Along with these indicators, what I've told you, remember those lessons. And when you're convinced with the indications at certain times and stages, you can start selling it off in your minds and book a profit. Note down that amount in your notebooks. Write down that amount in your notebooks. So you have to do this for at least 2 months until you master the trading. Then only start doing swing trading and intraday trading. Don't directly jump to options trading. I would first suggest you to understand all these indicators and finally Fibonacci retracement. It is the most wonderful indicator of all. And I would like to show you another Fibonacci only. It's right below this one. This is the Fibonacci retracement that we just used, and this is the Fibonacci arc. So we'll see what is Fibonacci arc. With this, we'll close our video. So again, we observe that the market has started from here and it has reached its maximum here. So I'm going to click over here. So it is obvious from the Fibonacci arc that the market has to go up until it reaches this curve. This is the Fibonacci curve of 61.8. So once it crosses, then we need to observe until it crosses the next successive Fibonacci arc 50% such that until it reaches its center value, its maximum value. So every time it crosses a line, we need to wait for the next curve for it to cross its next curve. Then only it is confirmed that it will go into the next, the space of two concentric circles. If it doesn't cross, it will go higher and higher. But once it crosses, we need to wait until it crosses the another circle. So this is the clear indication of when to enter the market and when to leave the market. If it is going sideways, do not enter the market. If it is only going upwards or exponentially, then only enter the market. But this is not required in the basic level. I just told you, I just wanted to make you aware about this, but don't try this. This is for expert level people only. But right now, focus on Fibonacci retracement only if you have mastered all this. If you want to know what will happen tomorrow for a particular stock, then only we need to apply Fibonacci retracement. Now, while doing live trading also, you can try to expect what will happen in the next 10 months. That is also possible with the help of Fibonacci retracement only. Fibonacci retracement is the best of all. Now let us say today at 12 p.m. after 11:59 a.m. 12 p.m. comes. So this is the 12 p.m. time. So afterwards, the next candle can be predicted such as that either it will come down, or if it line crosses, then it will go up. The market will go up. But what happened here? It actually moved sideways until it broke this resistance here. There is this support here. There was a support. When this support was broken, the market came down. So this is how we have to analyze. And also this is the beauty of Fibonacci retracement. I actually recommend Fibonacci retracement only if you have mastered with these indicators. There are so many other indicators that are complex, but for beginners, I suggest all of you to, first learn these and then use Fibonacci retracement alone in the end. Even though there are, advanced indicators, they are nothing in front of Fibonacci retracement. Let me tell you, it is the best one of all. So I think we can stop this session, and best of luck all of you.